I've made countless different thumbnails, banners, and profile pictures, and here's how to make art like me. Starting off, you're going to need to download Blender. Head over to any browser and search up Blender. Once you've searched it up, click the top link, which should look like this. Once you're on the link, go ahead and click the download button. Once you set that all up, now you can do step 2, downloading the Blender rig. Go over to the description of this video and join the Orion Drift asset community. Once you're in the server, scroll down and find the plugin channel and download the plugin out of it. Once you've downloaded the plugin, you can now import the plugin, which brings us to step 3. Head on over to Blender and click Edit, then Preferences, located in the top left corner of the screen. Now that you're here, click the arrow in the top right of this window and click Install from Disk, then go ahead and find your zipped file and double click it. Now we're ready to start doing stuff inside of Blender, which brings us to our 4th step. In this step, you'll want to find the arrow located on the right side of the screen, which expands all of your plugin windows. Find Drifter Customizer and click Add Rig to Project. Now you have the rig in the project. Once you have your rig, now you can start adding cosmetics. Before I do that, I'm just going to go ahead and delete the name tag as it looks cleaner without it. To add your cosmetics, click Add Cosmetics and find all of your cosmetics. Now we're just going to go ahead and add my pattern by clicking Change Pattern, and change my badge by clicking Change Badge. Once we've done all of that, now we can parent our cosmetics to our rig by clicking all of our cosmetics and clicking Parent Cosmetics to Rig. Once you've done all of that, now we can head on to the 5th step, posing your drifter. For this step, you can use an in-game image as a reference for your pose. For this banner, I'll be using this photo right here. This part is pretty self-explanatory, just copy the pose from the image and maybe let your imagination do some of the work as well. Now that we're done with the poses, we can move on to the Blender settings, which is our 6th step. First, go over to Render Settings, which is this TV icon right here. Now you're going to go back to Edit, Preferences, then click Optics and select your GPU. Now close out of this window and go back to your render settings, then click Device, GPU Complete. This will help make Blender run a lot faster and not rely on your CPU. Now you're going to open up Sampling, click Render, then change your samples to whatever you want, but usually I have mine on 500. Inside of render settings, you'll see denoise. Make sure to turn that on. Now open up viewport and turn denoise on there as well. Now that we're done with the Blender settings, we'll be moving on to our 7th step, lighting. Lighting is one of my favorite parts of this entire process, as it's one of those final touches that make it look so good. You can definitely mess this up, so just copy my lighting setup. White light above the drifter, another white light beside it, and then dark purple light below it. The purple light down here makes it so it's not so empty and there's still color, but there's shadows as well. For our final light, I usually add a very bright light behind the drifter, which adds this glare all around the drifter. Now that we're done with that, we can move on to shading, adjustments, and everything else in Photoshop, which brings us to our 7th step. In this part, you'll either need to have Photoshop or you can use Photopea, which is a very good free alternative. Photopea can do everything I'm using in this video, so don't worry about using Photoshop if you don't have it. Photopea will be linked in the description of this video. Starting off with the adjustments, head on over to your layers and make sure you have your drifter selected. Now you can go to the image in the top left, Adjustments, then click Curves. This takes a little bit to figure out, but just try and make your drifter look similar to mine. This makes it so the drifter is well contrasted, saturated, as well as highlighted. Now you can just click OK. What we're doing now is just shading the drifter. This makes it so it looks like the light reflects off of the drifter, as well adds more to the drifter. For the first part of the shading, you want to grab a dark purple light and add it where the shadows would be. In my case, it'd be on the left side of the drifter where the light doesn't hit. Make sure you make this a clipping mask by doing Ctrl-Alt-G or right-clicking and clicking Create Clipping Mask. Now you want to go to the layer blending modes and select what fits best. For my drifter right here, it's soft light with opacity at 50, but it'll be different depending on the color of your drifter. Now we want to add the highlights. To do this, we'll grab a white soft brush, make it a clipping mask, once again by doing Ctrl-Alt-G or right-clicking it and clicking Create Clipping Mask. Now you'll have to make the white brush go around the drifter where the light would hit, which should make your image stand out a lot more. Now that we're done with the shading, we can move on to the final step, the background, which is step 9. To To start off, you'll grab a photo of wherever your background is from your live camera in game or from your spectator camera. Once you get your background, just import it into Photoshop, then follow my steps. Add a radial blur to the background by going to Filter, Blur, Radial Blur, then change the amount to 6 or 7, clicking Zoom for the blur method, and Best for the quality. Now just click OK, then you're good for the blur. Next you want to add a color to the background, and how I do this is grabbing a brush, making the size of the brush really big, and then just adding one color to the bottom left, and then a different color to the top right. I'll add a Gaussian blur to this, then edit it a tiny bit, and then I think that's good. Now I'll add some sort of pattern over those colors from my pattern presets I've made, and the background is almost done. Now we'll just add some text to the background to show what we're doing. Then finally, I'll mess with the curves a bit, just like we did with the drift earlier, then I'll do some final touches, and it looks like this. I like how this thumbnail turned out, and that's going to be it for this tutorial. If you did watch the entire video, please consider liking and subscribing, as it truly does help me out.